All right, ready to dive into another classic.
Absolutely. Always up for a good story.
Today we're heading to 19th century Sicily. Sun, sand, and, well, a whole lot of drama. We're talking about Giovanni Verga's I Malavoglia.
Ah, Verga. He doesn't shy away from the tough stuff, does he?
Not one bit. This is a story that really digs deep into family, fate, those big universal themes. And we're going right into the heart of it all with the Malavoglia family, a family of fishermen trying to navigate life, love, and tradition in a world that seems to keep throwing them curveballs. What always strikes me about I Malavoglia is how Verga takes this seemingly simple setting, a small fishing village, and uses it to explore these really profound truths about human nature. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. He masterfully captures the complexities of life in a way that feels both specific to 19th century Sicily and incredibly universal. These are characters wrestling with the same desires, the same fears, the same longing for connection that we all experience.
Exactly. And he doesn't waste any time throwing us right into their world.
Yeah.
We're immediately transported to this bustling fishing village,
Yeah.
right there with the Malavoglia family, huddled in their house by the medlar tree.
That house by the medlar tree, it's practically a character in itself, wouldn't you
It
say?
really is. I mean, even before we meet them, that image, the house, the tree, it tells us so much. It speaks to their roots, their connection to the land, this deep sense of permanence, which is ironic, right? Because their world is anything but permanent.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And at the center of it all is Padron Antoni, the patriarch, clinging fiercely to those traditions, those values.
This is a man who lives and breathes by proverbs, by those pearls of wisdom passed down through generations, like Casa mia, madre mia, my home, my mother. It's more than just a saying to him, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's their whole worldview. For families like the Malavoglia, home is everything. It's family, security, identity. It's the anchor that keeps them grounded amidst, well, the storms of life, both literally and figuratively.
And you can't talk about the Malavoglia without talking about their boat, the Providenza Providence.
Yeah.
Talk about irony, right?
Oh, the irony is thick with this one.
I mean, it's their livelihood, but it's also a source of incredible risk. They're at the mercy of the sea, just like that.
And then there's their family nickname, Malavoglia, bad wishes.
Right. Which is so strange when you think about it, because these aren't bad people. They're hardworking, deeply moral. They love their family. So why give them this name, this label? It feels so deliberate on Verga's part.
Absolutely. It's like he's saying, hey, pay attention. There's more to this than meets the eye.
Yeah, like he's setting us up for something.
Oh, he is. Verga was a master of playing with expectations. That nickname, it's our first clue that this isn't going to be some sentimental, straightforward tale. He's hinting at the complexities, the twists and turns that life throws our way.
Then surrounding the Malavoglia, we have this whole cast of characters that truly bring the village to life, like Padron Cipolla and his son Brasi. They represent a whole different side of Sicilian society.
The wealthy landowners, right. Living comfortably, a world apart from the struggles of the fishermen.
Exactly. And then there are the gossips, the Pittipapera and Zupita women, always watching, always whispering about their neighbors' misfortunes.
Ah, the gossips. Can't have a good story without them.
Definitely not. And of course, no village would be complete without its cunning moneylender. So tell me, what's the deal with Uncle Crocifisso?
Ah, Uncle Crocifisso. He's fascinating, really. He embodies this moral ambiguity that Verga's always playing with. On the one hand, he's a usurer, a profession that's often looked down upon. But on the other hand, he's also a product of this system, this world where poverty and desperation force people into difficult choices.
Right. It's never black and white, is it?
Never. And that's what makes Verga's work so compelling. He's not just telling a story. He's painting this intricate portrait of a society on the edge of change, where those old ways are clashing with the new. You can feel that tension right from the start.
It's in the whispers of the gossips, the ambitions of those striving for something more, the way the Malavoglia themselves, they're clinging to tradition, even as the world seems to be shifting beneath their feet. And just when you think, man, the Malavoglia family, they've really been through it, Verga, he throws another punch.
He does, doesn't he? And it's a big one.
Talk about a turning point. This is where the storm hits.
It's more than just bad weather, though, wouldn't you
Well,
say?
absolutely. It's like the sea itself is reflecting all the turmoil, all the tension that's been building up.
It's symbolic, for sure. I mean, think about it. The sea, it sustains the Malavoglia. It's their livelihood, their way of life.
It's in their blood, right?
Exactly. But it's also this powerful, unpredictable force that can turn on you in an instant.
And that's exactly what happens.
It's like Verga is saying that no matter how hard you work, no matter how much you plan, sometimes, Well, sometimes fate has other plans.
And fate, it seems, has it out for the Malavoglia. They lose the Providenza in that storm.
Their lifeline, the boat that represents their dreams, their hopes for a better future, gone, just like that.
And it's not just the boat, is it? Bastianazzo.
Padron and Tony's son, swept away by the waves,
Along with their cargo of lupins.
which they bought with borrowed money, no less. Imagine the weight of that loss, the sheer despair.
It's like that one event, that storm. It just unleashes this torrent of misfortune. They're in debt to Uncle Crocifisso now. Their house is gone. It's heartbreaking.
It is, and it's a stark reminder of just how precarious life is for families like the Malavoglia. Living on the edge, one bad harvest, one storm, and everything you've worked for can vanish in an instant.
And then, as if things couldn't get any worse than Tony, he's forced into military service, right?
Ripped away from his family just when they need him the most.
It's like one blow after another. And yet, even amidst all this tragedy, there's this glimmer of hope that flickers through the story, don't you think? These little sparks of love, of connection that cut through the darkness.
Oh, absolutely. Verga, he was a master of weaving together these different threads of longing and desire, and each one reveals something about these characters, about their hopes and dreams, their struggles.
And then you've got Santuzza and Don Michele. Talk about a scandal waiting to happen.
Right, in a small village like this.
She's the tavern owner's daughter, devout, respectable. He's Don Michele, the brigadier, a man of authority. It's like Verga's setting up this whole clash of morality and desire.
It's classic Verga, isn't it? This tension between what's expected and what simmers beneath the surface.
Exactly. And their affair. Well, it throws everything into question. It's like he's exposing the hypocrisy, right? Those gossiping women, quick to judge the Malavoglia, but when it's Don Michele...
A blind eye is turned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes you think about who sets the rules and who gets to break them. But while all this is happening, in Tony, he returns from military service. And it's like he's a different person now.
You can't go through what he did and come back unchanged. Remember that longing for something more that we talked about? Well, now it's intensified.
He's seen a different world, experienced a different way of life.
And the simplicity of the village, the life he once knew, it suddenly feels stifling.
It's like the village has become a cage.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so he lashes out, makes reckless choices.
Which, of course, leads to more tragedy. It's hard not to wonder, though, was Antoni always destined for this? Or did his experiences, push him down this path?
Right. Is it fate or is it circumstance? Verga, he doesn't give us any easy answers, does he?
No, not at all. He makes you grapple with those questions. Is it our choices that define us? Or are we shaped by forces beyond our control?
It's the age-old debate, isn't it? And it's what makes I Malavoglia such a powerful story. But even as Antoni's story unfolds, the rest of the family, they keep going.
Right. Despite everything, they lose their home, their livelihood. They're literally starting over from scratch.
It's a testament to their resilience, wouldn't you say? That even in the face of unimaginable loss, they find a way to endure.
And it's Alessi, the youngest, who really embodies that spirit. He steps up, takes on the responsibility of rebuilding what was lost.
He's determined to restore his family's honor, their place in the village.
And he does, in a way. Mary's Nunziata, they buy back the house by the medlar tree.
It's a bittersweet victory, though.
It really is. Mena, she sacrifices her own happiness to help raise Alessi's children. And Padron Antoni, he dies, longing for a past that can never be recovered.
It's a reminder that some wounds, they run too deep.
They do. But even with all the sadness, there's this glimmer of hope, isn't there?
There is, in Alessi and Nunziata's family, in the continuity of life, in that enduring spirit that refuses to be extinguished.
Verga, he leaves us with so much to think about. What does it mean to belong? How do we reconcile tradition and change? And in a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, where do we find the strength to keep going? It's a testament to Verga's genius that over a century later, I Malavoglia still resonates with such force.
This has been a truly powerful deep dive, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Verga's characters and their struggles, they stay with you long after you finish the book. And that's the mark of a true masterpiece, isn't it?
It really is. Well, folks, there you have it. Another classic explored, another layer of life peeled back. Until next time, keep those pages turning, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.